With this video, I'm going to show you two pretty basic question types. One is multiple choice, the other is multiple selection. So I'm going to go up to the top to my Create button and select Formative. I'm going to name it Unit 4 Quiz. And I'm going to add a question or content. And this first time I'm going to choose multiple choice as the dot. So multiple choice is pretty basic. Usually you have 3 or 4, sometimes 5 options. You just click add choice every time you want to add another option. The standard point value is 1 point. You can change that if you believe it's worth more, weight it more heavily. You can change it to 3 points, 10 points, 20 points, whatever you want it to be. But for this, I'm keeping it very basic, so I'm just going to leave it 1 point. Going to type my question, what is today? And then I'm going to type in 4 days of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. This will auto grade as long as you select the correct answer. So I'm going to select Wednesday. And then I'm going to scroll down and look at my settings. With the settings, I want to make sure that it is required so that the student has to answer the question. They can't just skip it. I'm also going to recommend that you choose randomized order to discourage cheating for those who can see each other's screens. So that's multiple choice. It's pretty standard. If you accidentally choose the wrong one, it should be Tuesday. You just click the dot next to Tuesday. Now, multiple selection. We'll do another question type. So you're going to scroll down to where it says add new item. Press the plus button. This time we're going to choose multiple selection, which has a checkbox this time instead of the dot. Of course, multiple selection means there are multiple correct answers. So I'm going to choose, let's say I want this to be 2 correct answers for this one. So I'm going to change it to 2 points, and then it will update it. And the question will be, which days of the week fall on the weekend? And of course, I'll need to add in all of my options. So I'll do Sunday, Monday. Go back up here. Tuesday. And obviously, if your answer options need to be longer, you can type phrases, sentences, however long you need these answer options to be. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, looking at my question, it is multiple selection. And so whenever I do this, I believe it's best practice to have somewhere in the question, select all that apply, to indicate to the student there's more than one right answer. They can always look up here to get a clue as to how many right answers there are, but oftentimes on tests, standardized tests, they will just say that phrase, select all that apply. So I'm going to select the correct answers, which would be Sunday and Saturday. Very important, when you're doing multiple select, you scroll to the bottom and look at settings. And because I have chosen required in the past, it's going to continue to assume I want required, which I do. Since it is multiple selection, I want them randomized, but even more importantly, I want partial credit allowed. Let's talk about why. So when you look at the answer options, let's say that they saw that it's worth 2 points, but instead they chose Sunday and Monday. If at the bottom in the settings you do not choose allow partial credit and they have one wrong answer, they will get 0 points instead of partial for getting Sunday. So always make sure, I know we've all been guilty of it, make sure when doing multiple selection that you scroll down and double check, did I allow partial credit for that? And I did. So 2 answers are selected. So that was multiple choice and multiple selection.